I set out pretty early on in our agency story to try and get a big name brand on board, and just so happened that across the road from us was the Ferrari garage in Cape Town. I went and knocked on the doors and asked to speak to their marketing director, a guy called Reinhardt, and he said to me, he said to me, look, you got 20 minutes. So I pitched him what we could do. After 20 minutes of him looking at me with a stony-faced silence, he said to me, I never trust a skinny chef. And I was a bit confused by that. I'd never heard this statement before. And he said, to elaborate, look, I've looked at your website, I looked at your work, and quite frankly, you guys are not using the tools that you're trying to sell to me. So why should I trust you? You're a skinny chef. So I left that meeting feeling suitably humbled, and I spoke to my business partner who was in the UK at the time, and we decided that we were heavy chefs. And so the term kind of stuck. It became a bit of a mantra for us, and over the years it really kind of evolved into something more. It became our sort of platform, our initiative to really learn and share within the agency, and obviously then to our clients. So at the heart of Heavy Chef is learning and sharing, and the consequence of that is I suppose the ongoing mastery of the work that you do, and it resulted in a number of different things. We started a blog, we started a bunch of side projects, we started these events, which started out really as inviting some friends of ours, people we knew that were really walking the talk in particular areas of the digital marketing industry. And so those events picked up to the extent where now when we send out an invitation, the events really started in about 2007. Now when we send out an invitation, it generally gets booked out within half an hour to an hour, with 250 seats, either in Joburg or Cape Town. So it's really become a pivotal part of our communication, or at least the central part of our communication. And the offshoot of that is that we generate, through all these events and inviting all these cool people to come and talk to us and unpack their learnings and their experience, is that we generate a lot of content. After 8 years of doing this, we realized we just have an extraordinary amount of content that we didn't really know what to do with. Last year, we started to distill the content and put it onto our Worldwide Creative website. So there's a lot of articles that have been generated out of the interviews and the Q&As, and also the videos that we take of each event. And then we started interviewing our own staff, and we started getting them to unpack what they were doing on a day-to-day basis. That started generating into content. Our social feeds, we started sharing a lot of that stuff, and it just started picking up to the extent where we realized very organically there was a need to curate all this content. And it just sort of came into being that this should be a magazine. It seemed so counterintuitive that it was just a lovely idea, for a digital agency creating a magazine just seemed like an anachronism, so why not? Let's do it. Let's kind of poke the industry in the eye. So whilst it's currently in PDF format, we are printing it. So there is going to be a limited edition printed version of this, firstly to our clients, and then obviously we want to try and distribute it a little bit further. But yeah, it's just a fun, lekker, and very, I think, inspiring thing for us to do, both internally and what we've seen from our clients. Our clients really enjoy it as well, and I hope the greater digital marketing community in South Africa. We're a digital agency, so the stuff we do on a day-to-day basis is what makes us money. We have 4 business units at Worldwide Creative. We have strategy, we have development, we have campaigns, and we have education, which is where the education side is where the heavy chef unit falls within, and it's evolved into more than just learning and education. It's evolved into consulting. So that fourth business unit is now our fastest growing unit. So whilst at our core we are still a digital agency, I guess you could define us as a very technically strong consulting digital agency with a strong creative DNA, which is how we like to position ourselves, I guess. There were a few inspirations. One which really caught my eye was, I don't know if you've seen 99U, which is quite a well-known organization internationally. We're big fans of 99U at Worldwide Creative. When we saw last year that they released their magazine, we took a lot of inspiration. And you'll see quite a few cues from the design perspective as well. I wouldn't call it a blatant copy, but we certainly pulled a few leaves out of their books, so to speak. But there's, as you say, I think you're 100% right. There are quite a few examples, precedents for this internationally. I haven't seen it in South Africa or Africa, which is obviously where we really want to push and play.